All right, let's talk about one of the most frustrating parts of building for the web. I'm talking about end-to-end testing. We're going to see how we can go from tests that are just plain flaky and unreliable to tests that are basically flawless. Let's dive in.
You know the feeling, right? You write what you think is a perfect test. It passes 1, 2, 3, 5 times in a row. Then, right before the big deployment, it fails. And you haven't changed a single line of code. Welcome to the wonderful world of flaky tests. They are a massive, massive drain on our time and our sanity. But what if I told you there's a way to basically eliminate the #1 cause of this problem? For good. For years, the old way of dealing with this was, well, it was to just wait. We'd literally just sprinkle our code with these random delays. Sleep for 2 seconds here, wait for 5 seconds there, just hoping that the app would be ready in time. It's like trying to cross a busy street blindfolded by just counting to 3 and hoping for the best. It's a total mess, and it always leads to painful debugging sessions.
And this is exactly where Playwright comes in. It's an open source framework. Yeah, it's from Microsoft, but it's not just another testing tool on the pile. It was designed from the ground up with a completely different philosophy to solve this exact problem of reliability.
To really get what makes Playwright so special, let's use a quick analogy. Imagine you're at a really high-end restaurant and you have a perfectly trained waiter. This waiter doesn't just bring you your food on a timer. No, they have this whole checklist of things they do first to make sure your experience is flawless.
Just like that waiter, Playwright's secret sauce is its auto-waiting feature. It doesn't guess. Before it ever tries to click a button, it automatically runs a series of checks. Is the button actually visible? Is it stable, not flying around in some animation? Is it enabled and, actually clickable? It only makes its move when every single condition is perfect. And that one simple idea, it crushes the tests that fail just because of bad timing.
So how in the world does it do this so well? Well, the secret isn't just some clever feature they tacked on. No, it's baked right into the fundamental architecture of the tool itself.
See, a lot of other popular tools, like Cypress for instance, they run inside the browser. They inject their test code right next to your application, and that can really limit what you can do. Playwright takes a totally different out-of-process approach. Think of it like a puppeteer. It sits completely outside the browser and pulls the strings remotely. This separation gives it deep, unrestricted control over everything, network traffic, permissions, multiple tabs, you name it, without ever getting in your app's way. This one architectural choice is the key to all of its power.
So let's see how this actually stacks up against the big players. You've got Selenium, the old guard, right? It has the broadest support, but it's known for being slower and flakier because of its architecture. Then you have Cypress, which is famous for a great developer experience, but it's held back by running inside the browser. Playwright just hits that sweet spot. Its out-of-process model gives you the raw speed and reliability you really need, which makes it a seriously powerful modern choice. And that architectural difference, it translates directly into pure speed. I mean, look at these numbers. A typical Selenium test might take, 15, 20 seconds to run? A Playwright test doing the exact same thing can be done in under 3 seconds. Now imagine that, times hundreds of tests in your suite. That time savings isn't just a nice to have, it's an absolute game changer for how fast you can develop.
But it's not just about speed. Playwright's architecture lets it natively control all 3 major browser engines: Chromium, which powers Chrome and Edge, Firefox, and, this is the big one, WebKit, the engine that powers Safari. And this isn't some beta feature they tacked on. It's a core part of the tool. You write one test, and you can run it everywhere with total confidence. Okay, that's enough theory. Let's see what this actually looks like in code. We'll check out a super simple Python example to show you just how clean and powerful this thing is. Now just look at this single line of code. I mean, it looks almost too simple, doesn't it? We're just checking if the page has a certain title. But hiding underneath this simple command is a whole iceberg of powerful features. This is where the real magic of Playwright's assertions comes to life. Here's the insider tip. This isn't just a simple check. It's what they call a web-first assertion. Playwright won't just check the title one time and then fail if it's not right. Oh no. It will automatically keep rechecking over and over for a few seconds until the title finally matches or it times out. This one feature makes your tests incredibly resilient to all those tiny network glitches and rendering delays that cause so much pain in other frameworks.
All right, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing, maybe a little too amazing. So what's the catch? Where do people who are new to Playwright usually get tripped up? Let's go over the biggest rookie mistakes so you can just skip them entirely.
Okay, there are 3 big ones to dodge. First, using fragile selectors. Don't rely on these long, brittle CSS paths that break every time the UI changes. Instead, use user-facing locators like getByRole. Test what your user actually sees. It's way more reliable. Second, forgetting about isolation. You have to remember every single test runs in a completely fresh, squeaky clean browser context. No leftover cookies, no old sessions. This is a feature, not a bug, so embrace it. And third, testing third-party services. Your tests need to be fast and self-contained. Don't let a slow API from another company fail your build. Use Playwright's page route to mock those external calls and keep your tests rock solid.
So, if you're going to remember anything from this, remember these 3 things. 1. Playwright's out-of-process architecture is its secret weapon for speed and reliability. 2. Its built-in auto-waits and web-first assertions were literally designed to kill flaky tests. And 3. You get true native cross-browser power right out of the box.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. Focus on testing what your user can actually see and do, and let the framework's built-in smarts handle all the tricky timing stuff for you. If you can really internalize that one principle, I guarantee you'll be writing tests that are more stable and more reliable than what 80% of people out there are doing today.
And hey, if you think that's impressive, what if I told you that you could generate these super robust tests just by clicking around your own app? In our next explainer, we are diving into Playwright Code Gen, a tool that literally watches what you do and writes the code for you. You are not going to want to miss that one.